Letting go is not only the way to find yourself, but the way to experience the richness of life. And it's not just in a way of letting go and allowing life to give to you and or to receive what you're meant to receive, but it's also in the sense of little things that you do, like when you're playing music and you have a structure in which you go through. You have the same chords that you play through, and allowing your logical mind to just shut off and picking a note and experimenting and finding something new, um, or writing and just putting the pen on the paper, writing the first thing that comes to your mind and just letting your hand write next word after the next word after the next word. It doesn't need to have a structure to it. It can be ongoing sentence, and you just write. Don't even think about what you're writing, and look back and look at what this deeper part of you was telling you. Or when you're painting, and you can go into painting having an idea of what you want to make and have it be very thought out, and take your time and be meticulous. Or you can just splatter and draw lines and just keep adding and taking away and covering up and creating until you come to a point where you feel like you're done, and you look at what you made and you realize that this is telling you something that you needed to know. Um, and I found that in my life, when I have these practices of letting go and allowing whatever it is, the spirit, my soul, this deeper part of me to come through onto whatever medium it is, not only am I shown something that I need to be shown, but it's like my being settles this need to control everything and figure everything out. That I feel like most people are in that state where life isn't a certain way that you want it to be, and you feel like you have to figure things out, and you feel like you have to have some sense of control, because letting go and feeling like you don't have control and leaning into uncertainty can be overwhelming. And so many people are so scared of that. So much so that they structure out their lives and in every aspect. So there's no room for spontaneity or flow or the grace of God to come through you, and the grace of your inner being. You kind of become like a hamster on a wheel, or a robot, or something that doesn't connect. You become kind of vain, or yeah. Every time I do one of these practices, that fear of needing to control, or that fear that leads the feeling of needing to control and force figuring everything out, it's dampened. Because the more you do these practices and you see the fruits of them, you see what's created through you not having a logical, linear way of thinking. You see the beauty in what comes from you letting go. The more you do that, the more your being allows trust in life. The more you lean into uncertainty, knowing that there's actually beautiful things that come out of letting go and allowing a deeper part of you to lead yourself, to lead. And then life becomes a work of art. And sometimes it's abstract. Sometimes you have to decipher it. And sometimes it's straightforward. And a lot of the poems that I would write like this, or just like a page of a ongoing run-on sentence, sometimes I'd write these things and I'd be like, there is something deeper here. This is a message. But I wouldn't be able to really feel it or understand it in that moment. And then 6 months, a year later, I'd flip open to it and I'd look at it and it would be exactly what I need in that moment. Or I'd make a YouTube video where I just felt like I had something to say and I didn't know what it was to say. But I'd click record and I'd start talking, and by the end of it, I'd be like, oh, that's a clear message. That's very straightforward. And then a year later, I'd randomly come across a video and it'd be exactly what I needed to hear in that moment. So not only is there the benefit of doing these practices and allowing yourself to thrive in letting go and the uncertainty, which is not really uncertainty because it kind of shows you that there is a certainty and that this fear or this mechanical way of going through things is like obsolete. Not only does it do that, but it brings healing to you, not only in that moment, but later on. You might look at that same message, that painting, that song, that poem, that page of writing, that journal entry, whatever it is, that video, a year later, 5 years later, 10 years later, you might watch the same thing or go look at the same thing multiple times, various times throughout your life. And you have some piece of you that is reaching out to you to remind you and show you what it is that you need to move through and feel. It's such a beautiful thing. And it really allows you to step back, not become so immersed and head forward, driven, falling into the experience of life. It allows you to step back and see the beauty of things and make connections. It opens up your mind in so many different ways. So yeah, somebody's watching this after you watch it, whatever it is your medium is, go pick up a pencil, an instrument, a paintbrush, go into your notes app, whatever it is, hit record on your phone and just go. Start with one word or one phrase or one image and just make something and allow it to be made. And sometimes, actually many times, I would make something and I'd be like, oh, this is not that good. Like, this doesn't even make any sense, you know? I'd make a song and I'd be like, oh, this could be so much better. Or I'd make a video and, man, I watched a video on Jon Bellion talking about one of his biggest songs with Maroon 5. He's like, here's to the ones that we got. That song, he made it. And he went home and he told his wife was like, what'd you do today? He's like, oh, I just made this little song. You know, it's never going to see the light of the day. It's not that good. But somebody in his circle was like, this is good. We need to put this out. And he said until the day they put it out, he was like, oh, man, I don't like this. This could be better. This is like really not, this is too simple. And then it became one of the biggest songs in the world. And his message was that our ego gets in the way. And I've found that in my own life. I'll make a video or a song and I'll be like, man, this could be so much better. And I'm looking at all the imperfections and, oh, I didn't say this, or I didn't like the way I said this, or the way it looked and whatever. And then I'll post it and one person will comment and they'll be like, wow, this really helped me. And then that whole illusion of not being perfect and that feeling of being so hard on myself, it all just falls away. And I'm like, man, this is perfect. And like I was saying earlier, sometimes I'll write something or I'll make a song and I'll be like, this isn't that good. And then I'll reread it or re-listen to it weeks, months, a year later. And I'll be like, oh my gosh, I didn't even see what I was saying. I didn't see the deeper message in this. And this is beautiful. This is amazing. I love this. So it's like, don't be so hard on yourself. Don't judge everything you make. Just make just to make, and keep on making. And you finish one thing, and then, you know, if you feel like, you know, all right, I don't really feel like making something else, but you don't have anything else better to do, go make something else. Make 2, 3, 4 things. What's stopping you? What is waiting for you other than doing that? Um, and the fruits of doing that are so nourishing to your soul, to your being, to your mind, to your life. It wakes up like the cells that are dormant in your brain that haven't been used because you've been in such a mechanical way of going through life. And there are dormant parts of our beings that are waiting for us to turn to them and use them. We are capable of so much. All we have to do is divert from our path that we take in life of thinking, of moving, of acting and doing and making. Just take a turn and see what's on the other side. Turn around, take a U-turn, do everything completely opposite. Flip the script, and see what happens. And when you do that, it's like you create new pathways in your brain, and then there's a new path, and you're like, oh, I like this path. You take it for a little bit, and you're like, you know what, I'm gonna make a new path. And you make a new path, and that path connects to the first one, and everything in your brain just starts working coherently, and you just start becoming a generator of creation, of art, which is what you're meant to be. So, yeah. Go make something and love it. And if you don't love it, be okay with not loving it. I know that's kind of whatever. But yeah, just be okay with whatever it is you make, because there is a beauty in it regardless of what it is. Sometimes you can just scribble. You can just write a bunch of symbols on a piece of paper and scribble and be like, this is trash, and then look at it and it's telling you something. It's giving you insight. You just have to be open enough to receive it. So, yeah. Have a blessed day.